Hi, I'm Andrew, welcome back to Rüniverse, and in this video I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing of the Rüniverse Infernals Solo Mode box. Alright, so let's take a look inside. In the Infernals Solo Mode box we should find 54 cards, 50 of which are used for the Infernal Solo Mode, and 4 of which are special Ruby variant cards, and there should also be a rule sheet. So which variant cards we get is randomized, so that will be interesting to see which ones we get. And then of course you'll get to take a look at the variant cards, or the solo mode cards rather. Of course it comes in this tuck box, and we'll just go ahead and see the rules sheet first here. Alright, so the thing came out looking pretty good. You got a lot of the artwork here, Infernal's Rüniverse Solo Mode, and there's a little bit of a short piece of fiction here where you can get to know the Infernals and why you're battling against them a little bit. And then there's this kind of dense rule sheet here that hopefully covers all the different circumstances that can happen. But basically all it's really saying is that the Infernals are going to act like a normal player with a couple of little AI quirks to make it work, so that you don't really have to make decisions for them most of the time, and they don't have to try to make decisions for themselves. They just kind of do what they do according to a certain set of logic, and it's just a matter of describing that logic. That takes up a lot of text, but once you get it, you should hopefully get the gist of it. There are a couple of things that actually are rules changes. There's some cards from the base set that you'll recognize here, and that I had to reword a little bit just to make it easy to use, but we'll see that as we go here too. So the first card we ran across is the Infernal Magmite. This is one of the Infernal Mages, and it does have a draw gift, and then he also has this spell ability, Infernal Knowledge. So there are two different spell abilities that appear in the Infernal set, and that basically lets them, the Infernals don't assist. Instead, they will use these spell abilities to play them from their hand. Once they've already got their mages for the game lined up, they're going to play these spell abilities, so they can play them as spells. Here's Lizard Moat. So this is one of the cards that is in the base set, but here it appears as an infernal version. And this is one of our variants, and actually we can look and see the back of the card. Here it's got a normal Rüniverse back, and that means that it can be played as a normal Rüniverse card in your deck. And this is just one of our 4 variants that actually does not get used in the solo mode, but you can use it to build your deck in whatever mode you play. So this is one of the 4, and it's got this little fire symbol here down here by the card number to show that it's a variant, kind of like the star variants, but instead this is an infernal variant. And it's pretty much the same card, it just has a different backdrop and a little bit of a different design. Here is an Inferno Ram. So this one is actually used by the Infernals. This goes in the Infernals deck, and then you can tell that by the card backs. It's got the Infernal card back, and it's got these 3 fire symbols, which are used to determine which of the 3 Infernal Mages go first each round. So on their turn, they use the card back of the top card of their deck to determine that. But it's got some kind of basic abilities, slightly modified wording, slightly more powerful card for the Infernals. Looks like this is another one of our 4 Infernal variants that we could put into our normal decks. A regular base set card, Rage Moat. Here's an Infernal Immolate. So it's a little bit of a powered up version of Immolate that the Infernals get to use. Here's an Infernal variant, Riftburn. Or not a variant, this is for the solo mode. And it's got a little bit modified wording for the Infernals to use it. So yeah, all these Infernal cards, a lot of them are in the base set. Some of them are not. Some of them aren't in the base set, but not yet discovered. So I'm not going to necessarily say which is which. But if it is an Infernal card, it is a souped up version. It is more powerful. And that's to compensate for the fact that the Infernals kind of act dumb and they don't always make the best decisions, but they've got stronger cards and they can spend more power per turn than you on average. So this Aggressive Urge, if you recognize that from the base set, this is definitely a more powerful version. Here's another one of the Mages. The Infernal Egg of Endless Magma can help its allies attack sooner. It's Infernal Volcanic, in one of the box art here. One of the Mages also has the Infernal Knowledge spell ability, but gives the Ruby gift. Infernal Lurching Raptor, a very powerful aggressive card for the Infernals. Another Mage. So in the normal version of Rüniverse, all of your mages are going to be unique. You play with 12 distinct mages. The Infernals actually just have 4 different mages, and they got 3 copies each of those 4. So you've seen this guy a few times already, but so they're not treated as unique individuals as much as just kind of these elemental forces that are attacking. Flame Axe, another Volcanic, another Immolate. So there are 2 copies of each of these cards, other than, of course, our variants here. But the Infernals deck uses 2 each of 19 different cards. And so that's 38 cards, plus the 12 mages is 50. And then, of course, the 4 variants. So that's how we get up to 54. So, but when you play against the Infernals, you're not going to use all 19 different cards necessarily. Here's one of our new mages. It's got the other spell ability, the Infernal Blast. It says the Infernals get a flame counter and I attack for 3. So it's a different spell ability. And then this gives the Infernals the bond gift. The Infernal Burning Dragon, this classic Ruby rare kind of signature card of Ruby. Here's the more scary Infernal version at level 6. But like I was saying, so there are 19 different cards that the Infernals use. But when you play against them, you can decide which of those 19 cards you use and in what configuration between the main deck and the dream deck. And you can read the rules to see. It kind of tells you how to randomly determine that. Or you can just construct it the way you want to play against it. This is actually this is our variant Sabraze card. So that's really cool. I got a variant Sabraze. So this card was discovered by Ether from Astronomica. And yeah, now I got this cool infernal version of it. So yeah, with 19 cards, you can kind of pick 8 of them, or rather 9 of them, sorry, and play 2 copies each for the main deck, and then pick the other 10 as singletons for the dream deck. Or you can kind of mix and match and deck construct according to the normal deck construction rules as you choose. So here's another box art here. The Infernal Lava Worm with the Flamiostasis ability. Kettlebeak can scavenge fire. Got another Rex Imp. An Infernal Kittle is a little guy, only level 1, but he has aggressive 4. The attacks is level 5. Burning Stare. There's another Rift Burn. So the Egg of Distinguished Mediocrity is actually not a Ruby card normally, but this Infernal version of the Egg is a Ruby card. And it has the ability, it says, if my mage would guard, I guard instead. So technically in rule speak, it's not an ability because it's not named. This is technically just an effect. But it's actually just kind of to help the AI out. It's not really a real ability. It's just a guidance for the AI, or kind of a modification to the normal way that the AI works. And I keep calling it AI, but it's just the rules of how the Infernals make decisions, so to speak. There's another level 0, Cinder Wisp. So the Infernals use flame counters quite a bit. So flame counters are one of the mechanisms that Ruby uses out of the base set, and the Infernals are going to be using that a lot. They've got a lot of ways to gain flame counters and a lot of cards that are powered up when they have flame counters. I don't think we've seen this mage yet, the Brazian. So it's got the Infernal Blast, spell ability, and then the Dispel gift. There's a big guy popping out of the top of the frame and everything. Another Cinder Wisp, another Kettlebeak, another Heat. Here's Inspire, another Volcanic, another Pyre Hatchling, another Brazian, another Inspire, and another Lizard Moat. Oh, that's kind of a disappointing 4th alternate card we got here, but I think that's our 4 Infernal variants. But yeah, getting 2 Lizard Moats is a bit of a bummer here, but the Sabraze is pretty cool, so that kind of makes up for it. And so each of these will have just 4 variants. So these will be hard to find, at least normally. If you're interested in getting these outside of the Infernals deck, because it doesn't really make sense to buy this deck twice, so theoretically there should be a way to get these outside of this. So I might make them available through Rüniverse reward points, so watch my video on that. But if you are interested in that, let me know, because right now they are not necessarily available. We're getting down to the last few cards, and I think they're mostly cards that we've seen already. It's just the second and third copies of them. So take a look at my video. I already did a playtest video on Tabletop Simulator where I played through a full game against the Infernals, and this is pretty much, there are a few changes since then, but this is pretty much what you saw in that video. And stay tuned, I'll probably do more videos using the now physical copy that I got. But otherwise, go ahead and take a look at the product page. It's up for sale now. Thanks for watching. Subscribe so we can get more subscribers, and bye.